Listen up, everyone. It's time to take a long, hard look in the mirror. The ugliness we see in the world is not just out there, it's also inside each and every one of us. We can't keep pointing fingers and blaming others for the problems we see around us. We have to start by examining our own hearts and minds. Too many of us are so caught up in tearing others down that we forget others are people just like us. We're so busy competing with one another that we lose sight of the bigger picture. The world doesn't need more competition. It needs collaboration. It needs kindness. It needs people who root for each other, not tear each other down. We have to stop looking for validation and approval from others and start finding it within ourselves. If we feel we see flaws in someone that sabotages their journey, be brave enough to tell them, instead of playing their ignorance to your advantage. We need genuine leaders, not opportunists and egotistical people. This is so evident in today's world of cutthroat competition, especially at workplaces. Never before in history has the workplace opened up space for such diversity in gender, race, and preferences in matters of beliefs. However, instead of elevating sensitivity and inclusivity, there are a large number of people, many of them high authorities and people at positions of power, who instead of being the change makers, continue to ruthlessly mock, ridicule, and jeopardize juniors, female coworkers who may need mentoring at times. The differences definitely must not leave crevices for hostility, but in reality, that's not the case. How hard is it to put others in the horizon and stop the urge to hog the limelight all the time? How painful it is to see another junior coworker get an appreciation for hardworking and creative thinking that she brings to the table. Is it always necessary to be judgmental about the way a person communicates or thinks? Just because you have had it well so long, is it impossible to applaud another and be brave to voice out an unseen outstanding contribution? Is it impossible to be the ones who root for people, who lift each other up, who can be a genuine mentor and friend? Gentlemen and ladies, especially at power, it's time to change your perspective and be kind and lead instead of manage. No one needs to be managed, but everyone deserves an opportunity that truly is available to them. The biggest change makers are in today's workplaces, and this is where an important change is required. With dwindling mental health and high incidence of youngsters developing cardiovascular disorders, it's time to pause and shift the collective direction towards creating an environment of transparency, trust, support, honesty. It's time to say yes to collaboration and no to competition among individual contributors. If we don't, the future only gets worse from here. Some facts. 1. According to a 2021 World Health Organization study, overwork killed more than 745,000 people a year through stroke and heart attack. The number of deaths due to long work hours from heart disease increased by 42% and from stroke by 19% between 2000 and 2016. 2. Cause of workplace stress and death in office are insufficient skills for the job, over-supervision, inadequate working environment, and lack of proper resources. 3. 76% of Indian workers say stress negatively impacting work, shows survey. 4. Some ways to alleviate stress is 1. Identify the stressors. It very well could be some specific people, and stay away from them physically if possible. If not, minimize interaction with them, and have a few sentences and exit strategy handy. 2. Try not to reveal all your strategy, and understand that 90% of your colleagues are not your friends. 3. Detach psychologically from work. 4. Keep upskilling and be open to migrate to another opportunity if patterns persist. 5. Meditate daily, journal, engage in creative hobby at least 1 hour daily. 6. Have a strong support system in your family and friends, and keep them informed of any malpractices at work by your superiors. 7. And finally, build a muscle memory to be assertive, say no, and document email communication, and keep multiple stakeholders in CC. Many boundaries are crossed during one-on-one communication. Identify the toxic patterns and make your growth, health, and well-being as priority.